Well, gang, if you've followed this channel for a while, you'll know that we've covered Big U, the leader, allegedly, of the Rollin' 60 Crips in Los Angeles. And if you know this channel, you'll know that we've covered some of the very sad and dark rumors, they're just rumors at this stage, that Big U might have had something to do with the death of Nipsey Hussle, or at least that they were involved in some kind of beef or disagreement before Nipsey was killed. Well, now it appears that there's been some new developments in the major Big U Rollin' 60s RICO case that has some people believing, and the authorities may be inferring, that Big U might have actually wanted to do harm to Nipsey Hussle before he passed away. Now, one of the most damning things that we had seen so far was this video where Big U seemed to laugh about Nipsey Hussle's death when people said justice for Nipsey in Alive. Now, for a while, this was the only thing we really had to go on, other than maybe a few behind the scenes rumors that they were having a beef. But I'll play you this clip, and then I'm going to let you know the new news that's came out just a few days ago that has people looking at this whole case differently.
Justice for Nip.
So you might not have heard it, but he said justice for Nip. He's reading the comments that's saying justice for Nipsey, and they're laughing.
Justice for Nip.
Your boy would have been there like, yeah,
You did. You did.
Justice for Nip, you dig? All right. So look, now there has been an update in the case. Okay. A recently filed superseding indictment has the authorities actually basically targeting Big U and saying that he had threatened to kill Nipsey Hussle, and there were other overt acts that they're now adding to the indictment. This is crazy, okay? It says federal prosecutors have now sharpened their case against Eugene Big U Henley with a new slate of overt acts that depict him as a violent shot caller who boasted about disciplining Nipsey Hussle and others, and even as he publicly branded himself community mentor. In the new superseding indictment, the government does not accuse Big U of playing any role in Hussle's 2019 killing outside the Marathon clothing store in Los Angeles. That murder was prosecuted in state court, where Eric Ronald Holder Jr. was convicted of first-degree murder and later sentenced to 60 years to life in prison. But it says instead, federal prosecutors say intercepted calls would capture Big U years later, threatening to kill Nipsey Hussle, and others describing himself as the hunter of the Rollin' 60s, rhetoric that they're framing as part of a racketeering pattern of intimidation and control. On December 31st, 2022, Big U said that he was bigger than the deceased rapper Nipsey Hussle, that he disciplined Nipsey Hussle, and that the defendant, he, was bigger than any other Rollin' 60, according to Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. On January the 1st, 2023, on an intercepted call, Big U said that he was not beefing with Nipsey Hussle because if anyone beefs with him, I'ma kill him, period, I'm gonna murder him. The superseding indictment's new overt acts expand far beyond the already detailed allegations about a Las Vegas studio artist murder, dispensary robberies, and extortion payments. It adds to a series of fresh overt acts that aim to show Big U and his associates using fear to tighten their grip on the LA streets and on wealthy clients. In one added episode, Big U discusses disciplining a fellow Rollin' 60s member identified as OG Crip Cuz, claiming that he had him beaten for perceived disrespect and warning that he could have had him killed instead. In another, he allegedly recounts a dispute involving Nipsey Hussle and other neighborhood figures, boasting that if things had gone differently, he would have had a problem with any man and that the issue would have been resolved and he wouldn't be here, or I wouldn't be here, a line prosecutors cite to show Big U linked his status to life or death decisions. So basically, they're now calling out, and some of these things have been mentioned before, but they're now being laid out as overt acts, and it's being made very clear. He said he was bigger than Nipsey, he disciplined Nipsey, and that he was bigger than any other Rollin' 60. Now, look, saying that on December the 31st, 2022, after Nipsey Hussle had been killed by a Rollin' 60, it does hit different, unfortunately. So, you know, he said that he was not beef. And bear in mind, he's saying this after Nipsey's been killed. Right, on an intercepted call, he said, I'm not beefing with Nipsey Hussle because if anyone beefs with me, I'm going to kill him, period. I'm going to murder him. Like, I kind of can see what you're saying. It says additional new overt acts describe Big U threatening to mess up a South LA business after employees refused him a discount, and talking about hanging out in the rival Grape Street territory where he could kill MFs every day. Prosecutors said he bragged about having 2 blowers and guns, aka guns, and being able to pay others to carry out assaults. The Feds say this illustrates how he allegedly blended direct violence with outsourced muscle. And the superseding indictment also adds detail about contraband smuggling, accusing Big U of arranging to get a cell phone into state prison and then selling miniature phones for $1,000 each and treating incarcerated people as another revenue source. Together, the new acts are designed to deepen the narrative that he leveraged his Rolling 60s pedigree, podcasts, and documentary appearances to project an image of reform. And the Feds say that privately he was invoking executions, beating, and armed enforcement to maintain what prosecutors call the Big U Enterprises grip on Los Angeles. For now, Nipsey's death remains solely a state case. In federal court, Big U faces no homicide charges tied to the rapper yet. That's a big yet. That is actually very scary. So there's been some kind of new talk and some new analysis around the Big U case that I'm going to share with you in this video because we haven't covered it in a while. The YouTuber Abdul Aziz, who read the court transcripts firsthand, would explain just how incredibly profitable Big U's extortion ring really was when it was booming.
Big U, Bear Claw, Imani Vey, Tiffy Hines, they all got superseding indictments yesterday on the RICO. And when I tell you this, when I got through reading that, it not only blew me away, I just sit there and ponder about for like an hour and just shook my head because I never, ever in my life seen the stupidest shit that transpired in the transcripts in my life. Never ever seen that. I never seen nobody talking so much reckless stuff up in there. It's just unbelievable. And then they give, and they lay it out. They lay it all out. They give it all the breakdowns. And one thing I can say about him, whoever he was pressuring out there and getting them wires, the wires to his account, he was getting some serious bread. All right, I can give him that. He was on a bumper. He was getting some serious bread, if this is true, allegedly.
So he's saying this extortion enterprise, it was very, very profitable. He was getting some serious bread. He was squeezing a lot of money out of people, set aside the violence. People were so scared of the violence and the consequences of not dealing with Big U. He was racking up a lot of money. Now, Aziz would also break down how reckless Big U was talking on these wiretaps, even about his own Rolling 60 members and the people closest to him. So it's not a surprise that things unfortunately weren't left when things were getting so treacherous behind the scenes.
This man is on the phone, brother, talking crazy. He talked crazy about Nip. He talked crazy about me. He talked crazy about Six. He talked crazy about Whack. And ain't no telling who other he talking crazy about. And I guarantee you, bro, that he talking crazy about everybody in that section that he feel that was a threat to him and whatever he had going on. I guarantee you this. I guarantee you this, bro. And he talking crazy about his flunkies, the F Troop. He talking crazy about you guys, man. He calling y'all rats. It's in the paperwork. He's calling y'all rats. He calling y'all snitches. He said he's a hunter, and y'all don't want no problem with him. That he will murk you in a sense. He's telling you this. It's all on the phone. I ain't never seen nobody talk like this on the phone, bro.
He was talking crazy on the phone. Not only was he kind of, showing a certain degree of kind of treachery, but also he was very brazen in the way that he was having these conversations. For somebody that's the head of an alleged criminal enterprise that's so entrenched like this, it is actually baffling to think why he would have been so reckless on the phones. He surely would have had an inkling people were tapping his phones. I'm not going to lie. I've met people that are not really serious level criminals that they don't want to talk about nothing on the phone. They want to talk about legal stuff on the phone. They're so paranoid about stuff being on their phone. So the idea that Big U was leading the Rolling 60s like this and he was just talking openly on the phone about these things that were happening is insane. Okay. Now, the other YouTuber, that talked about this briefly that was interesting, that was the guy Al Prophet. Okay, he basically would dive deep into Big U's alleged drug operation, and he would explain that apparently this was the reason, because Big U was allegedly running drugs, is that Nipsey Hussle's own tour bus kept being pulled over because of the idea that the Rolling 60s were actually running drugs in nefarious ways around their ties to the music industry. So listen to what Al had to say about this.
He didn't start that way. I mean, Big U played a part in them getting started, and he would talk of big draws, big draws. He would constantly reference him, big draws took me here and hooked up that, and they went out to New York, and so they were rocking, and Big U definitely had a value for the early stages of his career. So they were out on a tour bus doing a promotional tour for Nipsey in the mixtape days. This is right before they broke up. The bus kept getting pulled over.
He sick the police on Nipsey.
I just hit it home. They had 21 people. They think they got him. Anyway, make a long story. He ended up turning himself in, take the case off all of us. He get life, right, for the drugs. When that happened, my team is acting weird. So I'm looking at Steve. I'm looking at Nip. Man, get a paperwork from Sony so they can see that we listen to all this. They acting weird. So me, I'm still kind of like, hey, I'm hot, hot and heavy, but
Loose Cannon claims Big U was given the information to get the bus pulled over, trying to get Nipsey caught with a gun. Maybe not. I don't know what the strategy of that would be. But what's interesting, you see how excited Big U is talking about it. And if you listen to what he said, it's that the guy he knew had a travel agency and they were sending people on bus tours to drop off the work, to sell work, and they were getting a big bag. So that's why, and U was tied to this guy, so that's why they kept getting on the bus. They were looking for D Ruggs and the guy, and they did, and Big U got picked up, a bunch of people got picked up. Big U was not charged, his buddy took the whole case. Now, for the record, for those of us that have had our fate be under a prosecutor's decision, you can't take someone's case. Like, the prosecutor decides who gets charged. Now, a person can say they're the one who did it or whatever, but so I don't know what he means by the guy took everything and got life. He might have been the only one who ended up with life. I don't know what the logistics of that were. Now, so Big U was tied in with a guy who was sending tour buses out under the guise of his travel agency that really had to work on him. Nipsey was doing a tour, a promo tour. Now, an interesting, I cannot remember who the hell was talking about this.
Is it muted?
Chicago tried to kill Nipsey.
At the concert, Sean, it was fucking 100 Mexicans with colorful Crenshaw shirts on the south side of Chicago. We were backstage, Nip like, man, hey, keep y'all head up, because, some shit went on back home. He did, and that's how I can say it. It's the 60s or whatever, they had robbed motherfucking cartel for like 300 keys of heroin.
All wearing the same.
And they know he's traveling and this and that, so he was an easy target. They was gonna kill him to hurt the 60s type shit.
You kind of rushed the stage, and then after the thing, they had to run to the tour bus, and there was gonna be some gunplay, or somebody did have to let off some shots. Now that could kind of sound like, remember, this was during the time, still Chicago's, LA's a hub for work, so Chicago. A little cartoon. Could that have been, and then Big U, likes to rob plugs. That's what he went to prison for back in 91. Extortion charges now. He likes to get stuff and not pay. Could some Mexicans somewhere have been owed some money by Big U and them? Or that guy that was sending the workout on the tour buses? So imagine you got a black guy in LA, you know that he's getting work and he's sending around the country on tour buses. He doesn't pay for a load, he owes. Of course, it's hard, easy to not be found, right? But now they know, oh shit, this rapper that we know this guy is somehow affiliated with or is in the same circuit of people, Nipsey, he's on the road in a tour bus, and we know this guy sends work out on the tour buses. Let's run up on them.
So Big U's operation was causing a lot of problems for other people. It's very, very unfortunate that things worked out the way that they did for Nipsey, and I do think that there are a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to Nipsey Hussle. I think the craziest thing to me is just that Big U is someone of his stature and someone that, at the height of what he was, the way that he was viewed as this, very feared figure in the streets, very respected, the absolute pinnacle of what a Crip in Los Angeles would be seen to be. The fact that he was moving this reckless, speaking on the phone, getting people in trouble, even before all of that, it's saying he's using tour buses to move the work around, people having to take the fall, plugs getting ran off on allegedly. It is really crazy. It's definitely not what you would expect from the leadership of such a notorious organization. But who knows? Okay, maybe there's more to the story. Okay, I will be following this case with a lot of interest. I did hear that there was rumors that, in a few months, this case could be going to trial. There was rumors that Big U would be representing himself. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but I will be following it and I will be keeping an eye on all this stuff. But look, Let me know what you guys think, man. You know, this is no disrespect. I hope Big U gets his fair shake in court, and I do hope that this trial takes place in reasonable time. And rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle, man. I think everybody does want more answers, and it's possible that maybe through this trial we'll end up getting more answers. Maybe we won't. I'll keep you guys posted if we do. We got the big Lil Durk trial coming up. They're saying it's going to be August now, so I'll be keeping you guys updated on that. All these federal trials are very serious and definitely worth keeping track of, in addition to all the other interesting things that we're covering, like the Epstein files, the cartels, all that kind of stuff. So I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm going to make some more videos tomorrow. But for now, I'm out, guys. Peace. Thank you.